Chapter 1: The First Glimpse of Tomorrow. Lin Xiaoyue stood by the large window in her office at the family business headquarters, her reflection mingling with the bustling cityscape beyond. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the glass towers and the cherry blossom trees in the park below. Yet, she felt cold inside. The lively scenes danced outside, but it was the stillness of her heart that occupied her thoughts. Today had been particularly difficult. She had felt the weight of unfulfilled dreams resting heavily on her shoulders. Meetings had been filled with strategic discussions and ambitions, yet beneath her professional demeanor, a lingering nostalgia clouded her spirit. It had been 10 long years since she last saw Lin Haoran, and now thoughts of their past resurfaced more vividly than ever. She drummed her fingers against the sleek surface of her desk, trying to push away the memories flooding her mind. Images of laughter shared and dreams whispered in the soft glow of the evening light haunted her, a bittersweet reminder of what she had lost. Lin Haoran had once been her partner in every sense of the word, a force that propelled her forward, filling her life with warmth and light. But like a delicate bloom, that love had withered under the weight of their choices. With a sigh, she turned her attention back to the room, the crisp scent of fresh coffee lingering in the air. She had surrounded herself with the things that defined her: family photographs, certificates of achievement, and the insignia of their family's business, a constant reminder of her commitment to carry on the legacy, despite the emotional costs. All around her, success gleamed like a polished gem, but deep down she felt a void that no amount of work or ambition could fill. A sudden rap at the door pulled her from her reverie. Her younger sister, Lin Jiwan, entered with an exuberance that always seemed to lighten the atmosphere. With her colorful dress and bright smile, she carried an air of hope and spontaneity that contrasted sharply with Xiaoyue's more cautious demeanor. Jiwan often seemed to embody the carefree spirit that Xiaoyue had buried beneath layers of responsibilities. "Xiaoyue!" Jiwan called, plopping down onto the chair across from her sister. "Did you hear? Lin Haoran is back in the city." The name pierced through Xiaoyue's introspection, igniting a flurry of emotions she thought she had kept under wraps. "What do you mean back? Are you sure?" she asked, forcing herself to sound nonchalant despite the racing of her heart. Ji Yuan nodded enthusiastically, her curls bouncing as she spoke. "I saw it on social media. He's starting a new business right downtown, and he had this whole launch event. I can't believe he's actually here." Xiaoyue felt a rush of warmth, a mixture of excitement and dread, coil within her. Haoran had never been far from her thoughts, constantly whispering at the edges of her mind like a haunting melody. But she had built her life around learning to, she mumbled, glancing out the window again, watching the last remnants of daylight bleed into the horizon. The next few days passed in a blur of meetings and projects, but Lin Haoran was never far from her thoughts. She kept replaying memories of him, how he made her laugh, how they dreamed together under the stars, how easy it once was to be vulnerable with him. The echo of his smile haunted her, and with each passing day, the urge to reach out grew. Then one afternoon, as she marched toward her office after a particularly draining board meeting, she nearly collided with Lin Haoran himself. He stood in the hallway, an effortless figure in his tailored suit, radiating an air of confidence that made her heart race. Their eyes locked, and time seemed to freeze. "Xiaoyu," he breathed, his voice a blend of surprise and familiarity that sent shivers down her spine. "Lin Haoran," she managed, her voice barely above a whisper. She was struck by how much he had changed and yet remained the same, a mix of strength and tenderness wrapped into one. "Can we talk?" he asked, a hint of uncertainty flickering in his piercing grayish-blue eyes. Her heart thudded in her chest as she nodded. "Of course. My office?" he agreed, and they moved together, an unspoken familiarity bridging the years apart. As they entered her office, she felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her, a nebulous blend of past desires and present realities. Once inside, she closed the door, cutting off the world beyond their small room. They stood across from each other, a chasm of unresolved feelings widening like the space between them. "Wow, it feels strange to be here again," he said, his tone light yet charged with something deeper. "It does," she admitted, her mind racing as she searched for the right words. I thought you were gone for good. I felt that way too, but life has a strange way of bringing people back together." He paused, his expression softening. "I've missed you." The sincerity in his voice wrapped around her like a warm embrace, igniting old sparks she thought she had extinguished. "I miss you too," she said, surprising herself with the admission. A moment of silence enveloped them. "What have you been up to all these years?" he asked. His curiosity, more than a friendly question, it was a lifeline sent extending across the chasm of their shared history. "A lot of work, a lot of growth. I took over the family business after." She let her voice trail off. The weight of her mother's expectations still hung in the air, a reminder of how she had shoved aside her own dreams. Hao Ran nodded, understanding flashing in his eyes. "You've always been determined. I knew you would make something of yourself." The compliment wrapped around her like a deftly spun thread, pulling on her heartstrings. "And you? I saw the news your launch was remarkable." He smiled, a mixture of pride and humility. "It's been a challenge, but I'm happy with where it's heading." Xiao Yue's heart raced, torn between fear and desire. Every instinct told her to protect her heart, yet here he was, bearing the truth like an open book. The past clung to them, fraught with unspoken promises and long-buried feelings. "Can we start by being honest?" she asked, the vulnerability in her voice shocking them both. "I still have feelings for you, but there's so much standing in our way." "I have feelings for you too, Xiao Yu," he admitted, his gaze steady on hers. "I've carried them for 10 years. I don't expect anything, but I'd like to hear it from you if you truly want to move forward." She took a deep breath, weighing each word. "I want to find a way, but it's scary. What if everything has changed beyond repair? Maybe we can rediscover it together." His voice was so steady, filled with hope, that she felt her defenses begin to crumble. Could she really allow herself to be vulnerable again? "Together." The word slipped from her lips, and they exchanged a glance that was equal parts confusion and possibility, a fragile truce amidst a whirlwind of emotions. "I know it won't be easy," he continued, "but I believe in us. It's worth nurturing, even trying to rebuild from the ashes of our past." She stared into his eyes, the blue of his gaze a gentle caress, urging her to open her heart, to take a leap of faith. A myriad of emotions crashed over her, mingling with hope, a spark bright against the backdrop of her current life. Xiao Yue realized that the future was as unknown as the past, yet perhaps it was time to take that leap. With a determined nod, she replied, "Okay, let's see where this goes." A faint smile broke on Lin Hao Ran's face, and in that fleeting moment, it felt as if the weight of 10 years began to lift. There was light at the end of the tunnel, a glimmer of hope in a world that had so often felt heavy. And while they both knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, the first step towards tomorrow was already unfolding, armed with the courage to face healing, reconnection, and love once more.